Hi everybody, this is Diane. Happy Monday to you. Although when you see this, it'll be Tuesday. Today is Monday. I did go to the flea market. It was pretty chilly here this morning, so I waited just a little bit longer, about a half hour longer than I normally do. And there were quite a few vendors, but mostly men, because the women didn't want to come out in the cold, I guess. By the time I got there, the sun was out and it was warming up nicely, but there wasn't a lot there for me today. I did get a few books and just a couple linen pieces, and that's all. And I don't have them here to show to you. But most of the books are going to go in my shop, so hopefully they'll be in there soon. So anyway, I'm here to talk about my next project, which will be Swan journals. And I want to talk about what I'm doing with the Swan journals and what my plans are. I have said that I don't do custom orders, and I don't do custom orders anymore. It got to the point where I haven't done them in a long time, but when I was doing them, it was all I was doing. I had such a list of custom orders that, and I really appreciated people wanting my journals, I truly did, but I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. So I don't do custom orders anymore, but I have a friend who wanted me to make a couple journals for her that she could give as Christmas gifts. And I told her that I don't do custom orders, but she's been my friend for a long time. And she wanted 3, and the 3 that she wanted were themes that I was planning on doing anyway. So, and she just wants like a 1 signature journal for most of them. So that's what I decided to do. I told her I would do them for her, and while I'm making hers, I'll make a couple others too that I can put in my shop. So as I'm showing these journals, you will see that I have maybe one in my set that I'm making that won't be in the shop, and that is why. So the first one is with a swan theme. So I want to show you what I've been collecting in my little packet of swan ephemera. I've been saving things for a long time, and I have enough that I can go ahead and make a swan journal now. Recently, I found this package of paper on clearance. No, this isn't what I found on clearance at Joann's, but I found it must have been half price at Hobby Lobby because it's Paper Studio. But it has swans on it. So it has some really pretty rose gold foiling and just really pretty papers. But a couple of the sheets, none of the swans are in here because I took them all out. But it's called Terrace Blooms, 60 sheets, 20 designs, 3 each. Oh, this one, 1, 2, yeah, there's 2 swan patterns in there. And then I took some of the other patterns to use also. And this is why I started saving swan things, because I had this book, The Summer of the Swans, a book by Betsy Byers, and it's got this swan image here with the 2 adolescent children, or 1 adolescent and 1 child. Really pretty cover. So this one is going to be a 3 signature journal in my shop, and one of these 2 will be in my shop, and the other one will be for my friend. So what else did I find that I've been saving? I have 2 different kinds of wrapping paper. There's a swan on there, and then this one is really pretty. These are just little pieces that are left because I already have my pages cut. I got the Mrs. Coggs Swan kit. A while ago I bought it because I knew I would want to be doing this swan journal. And I selected, nope, that's not it. That one was it. I selected some images to put on the fronts of these with collaged other items, of course. Somebody sent me in a Happy Mail these charms. So there's a black swan and a white swan, 2 of each. I had this swan stamp. And then I showed this in a video. I recently purchased this from Nancy at Wishes and Weeds. Look, it's the same stamp. But she made this tag that contains all of these different Swan stamps. So I've got a bunch of Swan stamps I can use. All of the Mrs. Coggs images with swans. In my big bundle of easy cut ephemera that I purchased from Dreams, etc. a while ago, and I recently did a journal, ledger journals, where I used ladies and flowers and things. They have the black border around them. That's what makes them easy cut, because you don't have to get all the fine detailing when you're doing the fussy cutting. Anyway, there were a couple of swan images in that. At least one. I thought I had two. Yeah, I think there's a smaller one. But anyway, that's from that. This came out of a children's book. So as I'm going through things, I know in my mind, I know what kinds of things I'm saving for, and I set them aside in a pile. I have a place where I collect things that I get out of books and magazines and whatnot, and then when I get a chance, I sort through everything and put them in their appropriate packages so that they're with all the other things. This came out of one of the Better Homes and Gardens magazines that I just got at the flea market a few weeks ago, from the 1950s. Swan garden hose, but isn't that a pretty picture? This was in a really pretty book about, I think it was about gardens, and it had poetry or quotes, but it had this pretty picture. This looks like it would be a Mrs. Coggs picture. This came out of a book about birds. This is a photograph that I took at a amusement park. They had some swans on the lake, and when I was pulling pictures out of my photo albums, I had to reduce. I had so many photo albums. When I moved, I took pictures out of my albums. Most of them, I kept a few. And I have them in photo boxes now, but I pulled out the swan ones. This is just a greeting card with a swan on it. This is part of the Ugly Duckling story. This is out of a nature book. Another greeting card. I believe someone sent me these greeting cards in a Happy Mail. I know I got some swan things in a Happy Mail. Here's the other Dreams, etc. Is it the same image, just smaller? Yes, it is. And I found some wonderful old greeting cards, the vintage ones with swans. Beautiful ones. The colors are so soft and perfect. The paper pad has a lot of pink and blue plus the rose gold kind of color, so pink and blue is predominantly what I'll be using. And here is a postcard, an old postcard, and it is written in French, and it is, I can't see the date, but it's got a family of swans. And these were bookmarks that I found in a package of current bookmarks at the Salvation Army, and I wanted it for the swans. These came out of a bird book, and this came out of a children's book. And I have this piece of fabric. It was in the clearance or the remnant section at Walmart, and it's got swans on it, and the colors are perfect for what I'm doing. And then I have this Cricut cartridge called Picturesque, and it has swans on one of the things. So on this, with this page, I can cut out swans. I can do, like these little ones I already had in my stash. I had made those before with the blackout. You don't need any detail, it's just a silhouette, but you can make a tag and corners, so I'll be making stuff with that. There's wings here, but I don't think I'll use the wings. I don't know if they're specifically swan wings. I don't think so. But I just want to make some things with that. So that's what I have as far as swan ephemera goes. I'm going to put these things in the little drawers here so I don't lose them. And I've got in my pages cut most of them. I have more to cut for the one signature journals. And there we go. So I have this pretty blue one I chose. I haven't collated these, but there's the wrapping paper. A children's book page was also in my collection of Swan ephemera. This came from that pretty garden book. This was from a book about, well, it was an Audubon book. So it's a swan picture, and I'll have to cover that side up with something. And here's one of the pages from that paper pad, 2 of the pages. That's what I have so far. And let's see what other ephemera I had in here. See how pretty that rose gold paper is. Another page from a bird book, from a children's book. I couldn't believe it that, you know, swans were everywhere. Everywhere I looked, I found swans. And there's another from the Audubon book. And I'm sure there are, oh, there's a calendar page in here that is really pretty. So the wrapping paper is in all of the books. This is from a German. Somebody sent this to me, just a page out of a book, and I think it's German. Flamingo on the back. And this was the cover of a vintage magazine that I picked up at the flea market last year. So you see, I found swan pieces in lots of places and lots of different types, and I'll make my own with my Cricut, and with the Mrs. Coggs images I'll make more ephemera pieces. So that's where we are as far as the initial planning stages. So I think right now I'm going to try to just figure out a collage for the fronts of these books. The one signature books. I want to make sure that that is the image that I wanted, because I'm not positive. To find out what I did. Sorry for my arm. What did I do with the rest of my Mrs. Coggs images? Lost the one to there. I probably put it away. Wasn't that one? Now that's pretty. It has a lot of blue in it. Maybe I'll use that. There it is. I put it away. This is another photograph from that amusement. No, that's not. Never mind. I didn't take that picture. Here it is. The other photograph. Okay. Let's start with the pink one. I want to start with maybe some music paper. So I got some of the more fragile paper out because I'm going to glue this. I wouldn't want to fold this and make it into a page. The other music paper that I'm using as pages is a nice sturdier one. brought in with me some tissue paper and glassine paper and mulberry paper to play with. This is tissue paper with a gold design on it. I want to add a little color on top of that. We've got the pale pink behind, but it's getting just neutrals on the top here. So I want to bring some of that pink forward. And I have, this one looks a little too purpley, I think. I have this one. Maybe that one would work. That might be a little deeper pink than I want. But let's give it a try. Don't want much of it, just a little piece. Got some pink sari silk here. Gonna just fray the edges. That might end up there, just doubled over and sewn there. But I want to put some bits of lace and stuff down here. So I'm just going to grab my little bits. This drawer has a lot of tatting in it. Sorry, I'm moving some things that are on the floor. The wheel of my chair wants to run over and I don't want to ruin them. I just found this in a box of something that I was organizing yesterday and this didn't belong in it. So I don't know if I'll use it, but it's there. I want to look for some tatting that I'll use. Oh, these are cute. I love tatting. This isn't all tatting, there's other stuff in it, but usually if I find a piece of tatting, I stick it in this drawer. So there's a few, that's a long piece, I'm going to cut that. There's a few different tatting pieces I can choose from. Let's see what's in here. It's getting full. No, it's not getting full, it's overflowing. Let's tell the truth. That's just a little piece of old netting that came off of a garment, a baby garment, I believe. Just a little scrap of lace. It was a lace fabric. So I'm just layering pieces right here. Just a little scrap of lace trim. I'm going to cut a piece of that tatting, just a tiny little piece. You don't need to see like the details of every piece that I add. I just want it to look like a bunch of layers, because that's what it will be. I think that's a little bit too big. See, this is a big motif, but I'm going to try cutting off part of it, because if I cut off the bottom and have these little dangly pieces, I might like that. Yeah, that looks fine. I don't know if I will give titles, like put a book plate with a title, or just a word snippet with a title or something. I don't know if I will title these, but okay. I need something more up in this corner. Could be paper, could be lace. Maybe another piece of the pink mulberry paper. It's getting harder to keep this in place. Just enough so I can see what kind of look we're getting. Okay, I think we have enough pink on there. I'm just going to look at my words. I can't open this box. I've got some Tim Holtz chipboard words in there. It's got some other words in there too. These are digitals that I got, but I think these are big for this cover. In my heart, that's cute. Use your wings, that's a good one. Embrace the journey. Be brave. See the world. Seek. Dreamer of Dreams. Yeah, I think that would add something nice up here. I don't know. Once I get everything on, it might be too much going on up here, and I might put it down here. I'll keep those out and decide which one I want to use. So I'll glue some of these down, and then I will sew this and the lace pieces down. And I might sew the swan picture down once the glue dries. I want to ink around the edge of this. And with the word snippet or the word chipboard pieces, I don't like them to be so thick, even on the cover. So I just peel off some of the layers. When it's inside the journal, on a journal page, I peel off more. But I think that's good, if that's the one I decide to use. I'm not going to do a lot of coffee dyeing or distress looking things in these journals. I want them to be clean and pretty. But I am inking these things on the front cover. I don't know why, I just am. Okay, so first, this gets glued down. This is my extra strength craft bond glue by Elmer's. Guess I can zoom back out now that we're, oops, done doing the layering of laces. So I did go, like I said, I went to the flea market today. I was very cautious. My back is better, but is still pretty tight. My lower back. the muscles are very tight and I can't. I mean, it's not just the pain, I just physically cannot stand completely upright because the muscles are too tight. And so I was kind of worried the longer I stand, the tighter it gets and the more I bend, the less I can stand up straight. But I thought I wanted to try walking just a little bit, just walk a little bit. So I figured I might as well walk on the field at the flea market. So I wanted to see how many vendors were going to be there now that it's after Labor Day and it's gotten colder. So anyway, I didn't have problem really walking around there. Then I had to go stop and get some groceries and stuff on the way home. So that's probably what hurt more than anything. But I came home and put away the cold and frozen stuff and then sat on the couch for a while to let my back loosen up again. It's doing pretty good right now. So I think we're on the way. I just still have to be careful and take breaks. I feel like it was the sari silk up here. I knew I had something up there. I'm not sure if I'm going to put that there. So I guess I'm not going to glue the swan picture down, or sew the swan picture down, because I just glued it. So that's fine. And I guess I'll just glue these down. That way we won't have stitches on the inside cover. Little pieces are sticking to the glue on my fingers. There's the tatting. Maybe I don't want the pink on there. Maybe I'll put that up there. It's okay to change your mind as you work. So I chopped that off pretty severely across the top there, so I might want to put a little something there to kind of soften that edge. I think I'll go with a little piece of the tatting. definitely like it better up there. I'm wondering if it needs something behind it. I'm going to pull these pieces out. I stamped these and cut them out, but I think I want to use them in these journals. These pretty fancy labels. I'll get them all out. Let's see what I end up using. That's cut from wallpaper. Maybe if it was a different color, it would be fine. Got some label shapes here. It's just about the perfect size. I think I'd like that. I have it in pink, but I don't know if I'll like it in pink. I think it's too much pink. I might use that. And I'll get these out just in case. It's nice to have things ready-made, but then they're not always the right size or the right color for what you need. But if I really wanted to use that shape with the wallpaper, I know that the size was right, so I could go cut it in a different color. Okay. And I have these little white sticky things that I could put, if they're not too big, put where the holes are. Yeah, that works. These came with a Stampin' Up! Set. So first, well, that one won't stay. I'm going to have to glue it. First I'll glue the phrase, and then I will glue the label on top of it. I'm not going to get it on there straight. There. There's quite a lot going on there, that cover. I hope it's okay. Sometimes it's nice to arrange it and then step away and come back and see what you need to adjust. But sometimes I just go for it and then it's too late. But I think it's okay. I think I might add a button or something on it. And I'll have to do the same. Do another collage on this page. I'm going to grab my buttons. Can't figure out how to open this. I mean, I see the opening, I just can't separate the edges. There we go. Or maybe we need to get the button away from the label. We don't want everything up in one area. So I need a smaller button. That one's pretty. I'm undecided about the button. I'm going to have to think about it. But we're about out of time here. So, ooh, that one's shaped like a leaf. That one's pretty. I like that. I'm going to stop the camera now and we'll get some lunch, and then I'll do collage on this one. And then I'll be well on my way with these journals. Got pages picked and we'll have covers done. Yeah, so I think I've made some pretty good progress this morning, and thanks for watching. I hope that you will come back to see the rest of the Swan journals and see them when they're complete. Thanks for watching, and please give me a thumbs up, and please leave a comment. Have a creative day. Bye.